You're all set, Jack. You can head over anytime.
Thanks, Jim.
It looks like Jack's going to show property today without a buyer representation agreement in place. This is perfectly legal, and a representation agreement can still be put in place at a later date, if that's what the Harrisons want. Jack knows there's a certain amount of risk to this approach. He may never see the Harrisons again. Jack appears to be a confident person, though. Let's see how he approaches this.
Okay, well, that was a nice place, but I think I want to look at a couple more houses.
Yeah, me too. I say, Jack, you said earlier that if we hire you as an agent, that every person here has an obligation to us. So what happens when you already have that obligation to a seller of the house that we fall in love with?
Again, you have options. When my brokerage has the property listed, you can remain customers, and we will continue to represent the seller as his agent. We would have to treat you honestly, but keep the seller's best interest at all times. If I'm your agent, you can give me permission to act as a limited dual agent. Then I represent all parties to the best of my ability, but I'm forbidden from sharing anyone's confidential data at all. I can't negotiate solely on your behalf, but I have to represent both of you equally.
I don't know, I'm really not feeling that one at all, Jack.
You don't have to do anything you don't want to. The state of Idaho created these options to allow you to get the service that works best for you. Limited dual agency works pretty well, though. I still have to present any offer you make, and I'm not allowed to give the seller any insight to your bargaining process.
We can think about that one.
There's one more option here if you get interested in one of my brokerage's listings. You can also authorize us to do what is called assigned agency.
How does that work, Jack?
My broker has to remain a limited dual agent, but I don't. At your request, my broker can assign me to represent you and a different agent to represent the seller. In that case, I would be assigned to advocate fully on your side of the transaction. The listing agent would advocate fully for the seller.
Well, does that work from a practical standpoint?
It does. You have to take some extra precautions around here, like locking up our working files and making sure we don't engage in office chit-chat about your transactions. Under assigned agency, though, I can suggest what you offer or how to handle a counteroffer.
Well, that sounds good to me. What do you think?
Yeah, me too. Jack, I think we want to hire you as our agent.
Great. Thank you. And what I'm going to do is I'm now going to show you the buyer representation agreement that we discussed earlier, and I want you to look over it very carefully.
This brochure is published by the Idaho Real Estate Commission to let consumers know they have choices when it comes to representation. Jack did a good job informing the Harrisons and met all the legal requirements. In the end, Jack was perceived as knowledgeable, informative, and helpful. This process is all about choices. Informed consumers tend to make better choices and have smoother transactions. The Harrisons ultimately chose to hire Jack to represent them as their agent. Different consumers may find another option works best for them. The best licensees are familiar with all the various options and can explain them to consumers at the first substantial business contact.
All right. All right, well, Kim's already got 3 homes set for you to look at in your preferred location, and we'll meet here at 10, okay, on Saturday.
Sure.
So does that work for you?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you have any children?
No, not yet.
No?
Don't we? Do we not?
No.
I can't remember.
Good job.
The look you gave me, I was like, oh, we do?
It's actually pretty close to actually where you're going to be working.
Oh, awesome.
And I didn't ask you, do you have any kids?
We do. We have 2.
We,
Do you?
Two, yeah. We have 2 kids.
Awesome.
I'm sorry.
No, that's two children. You guys did great.
So, you have any kids? Because, you know, we can look at some schools in the area too while we're at it.
Yeah, we're going to have to.
Yeah. 2 sets of twins, and we just adopted.
Really?
Yeah,
Triplets.
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 Oh, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's amazing. From Somalia. Making sure we don't engage in office chit-chat. A chit-chat about your transaction.
Yeah.
And making sure we don't engage in office chit-chat.
That's how you said it on the recording.
Quotation marks.
Oh, okay. The air,
It's the
what do they call it? Air quotes.
You know,
Okay.
The quotation marks. I'm going to do
sold.
Air quotes.
Oh,
Well, at the end, when the wrap, we'll all get up and we'll go.
Devin said he can't see your
That's a wrap. There you go. Gently tear off this piece of stuff right here. That's not the pretty one. I'll get the